So here's how it goes in the Bardo Todo. What the Tibetan Buddhist says, when you die, your soul can be confused and disorientated, but because of your practice in life, you'll be able to orientate yourself and recognize what's going on afterwards. Because the first thing that appears, they call it the Dharmakaya. Now, the Dharmakaya is the bright white shine light of true cosmic consciousness. Whether understood psychologically, spiritually, symbolically, or literally, death invites us to let go, trust, and deepen awareness. The central question is not what happens after death, but how do we live knowing that death is a part of life? I'm not unprepared, then I'm going to prepare it now. I'm going to work through my karmic samskaras and I'm going to gain merit in this lifetime by helping and healing and working in a compassionate way with other people. A thought form that you no longer need, that is holding you back. These are old patterns, mindsets, or attitudes. So ask your teacher, the spirit of your death, for some advice and counsel on what you need to let go of, dismemberment. And again, they may take you as an overview of your life. You may think about what they're communicating to you, or it may be transmitted to you telepathically. So just take a little time now, focusing on the ego death, dismemberment, and asking about what you... So you see now what I mean when I say death is our best teacher. And we embrace the spirit of our death as an ally, so that we can actually live more fully. And when we die, the final death, and we move into the spirit realms, we'll be prepared, not about what happens after that, but how do we live our lives knowing that everything is impermanent, that death will eventually come to our physical bodies, and that we need to go through the mini deaths and the ego deaths in our everyday lives of letting go, surrender, and knowing what's really vital and important to us. When people safely touch this wider dimension, their relationship to death, meaning, and who they are often changes in lasting ways. Now, this is key. When you have an expanded sense of awareness and consciousness, and you have touched the numinous, the cosmic consciousness, through these deeper experiences, and you move beyond the fear of death, then you come back into your physical body and you realize that it's a gift to be incarnated here and given the opportunity to learn lessons. Helping individuals face death without fear, preparing consciousness for transition and change, supporting inner stability during times of collective uncertainty. So, here's the thing. According to astrology and astrologers, we are just emerging out of a 26,500 cycle, which is called the Kali Yuga, which is the darkening. And as we emerge out of the Kali Yuga, we're going on the ascent, where the etheric tide becomes higher, where consciousness becomes sharper, and where more people are waking up to seeing through the illusion, okay? Which is a beautiful realm of the gods, where highly evolved beings incarnate into, where you live thousands of years, you're in a beautiful landscape, you're beyond suffering and samsara and pain and all that kind of thing. And so you can take a birth there in order to become more self-realized, and you're closer to the cosmic light. So ritual and ceremony are very important in spiritual work and shamanic work. Whatever you're doing, it's about, a ritual letting go and inviting energy in, and particularly around the dying and the dead, like as I described in Mexico. It's also happens in other cultures around the world, which I'll talk a little bit more about now. Grief is not a disorder, a disease, or a sign of weakness. It is an emotional, physical, and spiritual necessity. We need to do it. Grief connects the living to the dying. How we grieve shapes how death is integrated. Unexpressed grief can tether attention to the past. We can talk to your son, Shane, because he had a lot of unfinished business. He left the house that morning to start a new job, and he never came home. And she's wrote a book about this called Finding Shane, and it's well worth reading. It's a beautiful story. So our unfinished business, and I suggested to her, look, what I can do is I can do a shamanic counseling session with you, and you can journey to the park, that in between liminal space that Monroe calls the park, and you can meet your son Shane there. People do get relief from that because it's the sense that, oh my God, they're not dead. They're in the afterlife, in the other world, and I will be able to meet them again. And that's true because the energy is never created nor destroyed. The soul is eternal. Spirit is eternal. If you've known somebody in this lifetime, you can very well not only communicate with them now to the other world, but you can also set up a rendezvous point where you meet in the afterlife, and they can now become a guide for you in this life as well. So if you've lost somebody who died, look to your dreams, take a shamanic journey, go into meditation, and you'll be able to communicate with them again. So that's what happens in this life echoes in the afterlife. As above, so below. As within, so without. You see how it all connects together? No, you find the consciousness within yourself. That spark of divinity that comes from the source, the creator of all, that animates you and that is living itself through this avatar of your body here and now. That's what goes with you after you die. That's the only thing that's eternal. And that's the part of you that is looking to transcend the physical realities of the 3D reality and find its way back home to union with itself as part of the cosmic game.